Funny thing about food, it's not steak or caviar people obsess over, it's French fries. We'll fight over them, rank entire restaurants by them, even argue who does them best. And yet, the way they're actually made looks less like cooking and more like a space launch. It all begins with a potato, but not just any potato. Fast food companies don't roll up to the local grocery store and toss a couple bags in the cart. They work directly with farms, often in states like Idaho and Washington, that specialize in growing the superstars of the potato world. The favorite? Russet Burbank. They're long, starchy, and low in moisture, which makes them the perfect candidate for fries that are crispy outside but still soft and fluffy inside. Think of them as potatoes, born with the perfect jawline. Planting these isn't a casual toss some seeds and hope situation. Farmers start with seed potatoes, basically potato chunks, with little eyes that sprout into new plants. These are carefully planted in nutrient-rich volcanic soil, the kind of soil that could probably make rocks grow if you left them long enough. The climate in these regions is dialed in like nature's own thermostat. Cool nights, sunny days, steady rain. On top of that, farmers rotate their crops each year so the soil doesn't get tired. And they use irrigation systems that work like precision sprinklers, delivering exactly the right amount of water straight to the roots. Too much water, you get soggy potatoes. Too little, shrivel city. And since pests love potatoes almost as much as we do, some farmers even use integrated pest management, basically letting good bugs patrol the fields and keep the bad bugs in check. Imagine an army of tiny bodyguards, making sure your future fries don't get wrecked. Fast forward a few months, and harvest season arrives. This is where things get loud. Giant machines called harvesters cruise through the fields like tanks with conveyor belts. They dig under the soil, scoop up the potatoes, shake off the dirt, and carry them gently into bins that can hold more potatoes than you'll eat in a lifetime. The trick is to avoid bruising them. Potatoes bruise like peaches, and a bruised potato means a ruined fry. Once collected, they're hauled into storage warehouses the size of aircraft hangars. These aren't just barns, though. They're climate-controlled fortresses. Temperature and humidity are kept at just the right balance, so the potatoes don't sprout, rot, or shrivel. Basically, it's potato hibernation until the factories are ready. Now comes the fun part, the mega factory. If you've ever wondered what the inside of a French fry factory looks like, picture a mashup between a sci-fi lab and a bakery on steroids. Trucks dump mountains of potatoes into receiving bays, and from that moment on, the potatoes are on a one-way ride to fry destiny, but not before passing through an audition. Quality control here is ruthless. Cameras and optical sensors scan every potato in milliseconds, looking for defects. Too small? Out. Weird shape? Out. Bruised? Out. It's like Potato X Factor, only the prize is getting chopped up into fries. Don't worry, rejects aren't wasted. Many go to animal feed or other products. The chosen spuds move into peeling. And forget your vegetable peeler. This is industrial peeling at lightning speed. The potatoes get blasted with steam, loosening the skin, then tumble around abrasive drums that rub the skin off like a giant potato spa treatment. What comes out is smooth, clean potatoes that look like they just had a glow-up. But the real showstopper comes next, cutting. And no, there aren't factory workers standing around with knives. Instead, the potatoes are fired through water jets so powerful they slice them at supersonic speeds. It's like sending a potato through a laser show. In an instant, the potatoes turn into perfectly uniform sticks. And I mean perfect. Identical length, identical thickness. That uniformity is important, because if one fry is thicker than the rest, it'll cook differently. And nobody wants a batch with half-soggy, half-burned fries. Once cut, the fries take a quick hot bath, also known as blanching. This isn't to soften them up, but to wash away excess sugars and starch, Without this step, fries might fry into a weird brown color or develop uneven textures. After their spa day, the fries are cooled down, then head straight into the oil for their first fry. Yep, fries are fried twice. This first session is quick, just enough to give them a crispy shell while leaving the insides raw. Think of it as pre-gaming before the big event. Then comes one of the coolest steps, flash freezing. The fries are blasted with icy air at super low temperatures, locking in flavor and texture instantly. This prevents ice crystals from forming, which would ruin that fluffy bite later. In a way, the fries are frozen in time, waiting to be revived in the fryer at your local fast food joint. But before they're packed, they get a little extra help to look their best. A microscopic layer of dextrose, a natural sugar, is added so they fry up golden instead of pale. Depending on the market, some fries even get a whisper of natural beef flavoring to boost taste. It's all subtle, but it's those little tweaks that make people instantly recognize the flavor. At this point, the fries are bagged up by machines so fast you'd think they're training for a world record. Huge bags of frozen fries slide off the line, sealed airtight, and head into cold storage rooms that feel more like Antarctica than a factory. From there, it's a distribution ballet. Freezer trucks crisscross the highways, delivering fries to thousands of restaurants across the globe. So the fries are bagged, frozen, and shipped, tucked away in the back of freezer trucks that look more like they're hauling priceless art than potatoes. And honestly, in a way, they are. Because by the time they arrive at a restaurant, they're only one short step away from becoming the thing people dream about at 2 a.m. The frozen fries wait patiently in giant freezers until you, hungry and half distracted, roll up to the counter or the drive-thru. The moment an order is placed, it's showtime. Employees grab the fries, drop them into a basket, and lower them into oil that's heated with scientific precision, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, every single time. It's not guesswork. Fryers are programmed to hit that temperature like clockwork because a few degrees up or down could mess with the entire texture. Too hot, and the fries burn before cooking inside. Too cool, and they end up limp, greasy, and tragic. 3 to 4 minutes later, the transformation is complete. What was once a pale, frozen stick of potato now comes out golden, crisp, and audibly crunchy. But that's not the final touch. The moment the fries come out, they get salted. And here's a secret: it's not just a pinch of salt. The amount is calculated, standardized, and applied in a way that enhances flavor without making them overwhelmingly salty. Enough to hook you, but not enough to make you regret finishing the entire carton. Once they're salted, they're slid into that iconic red and yellow carton, the uniform that fries wear to let the world know they've made it. And just like that, years of farming, months of storage, weeks of shipping, and a high-tech ballet of slicing, frying, and freezing all come together in something you'll probably finish in under 5 minutes. It's almost poetic, in a greasy, delicious kind of way. Now here's the part people don't think about. That flavor you love? It's not an accident, it's engineered. Fries are seasoned not only with salt, but also with that tiny sugar coating they got back in the factory, which caramelizes during frying and gives them their irresistible golden look. In some places, a hint of beef flavor is added too, making them even more savory. And the oil they're fried in? That's been through years of tweaking. It used to be full of trans fats back in the day, but as nutrition science evolved, companies reformulated the blend. These days, it's usually canola and soybean oil, chosen to balance taste with a slightly healthier profile. Slightly. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. They're still fries. And here's where it gets even more interesting: consistency. If you've ever noticed, fries taste basically the same whether you buy them in New York, Tokyo, or Paris. That's because the entire system, from farm to fryer, is designed to make sure there are no surprises. The potatoes are grown to exact specs, cut to exact sizes, fried at exact temperatures, salted in exact amounts. This is food engineering at its peak, where every detail is locked down so no matter where you are, you get the same familiar bite. It's comfort food on a global scale. But fries aren't just about comfort, they're about obsession. And to feed that obsession, mega factories and farms are constantly pushing for improvements. Take sustainability. Water is life for potatoes, but it's also a limited resource. That's why farms are switching to drip irrigation systems that deliver water directly to the roots instead of wasting it through big sprinklers. It's efficient, saves water, and keeps the crops healthier. Crop rotation keeps the soil rich, while pest management cuts down on harsh chemicals. It's farming, but smarter. On the factory side, technology is getting wild. Artificial intelligence is stepping in to monitor potatoes on conveyor belts, sorting them even faster and more accurately than human eyes ever could. Machines can now detect tiny blemishes that might ruin a batch of fries. And when it comes to oil, some companies are recycling used frying oil into biodiesel fuel. So yeah, the same oil that cooked your fries might one day help power a delivery truck. How's that for a full circle? So the next time you're sitting there with a fresh batch of fries, maybe dipped in ketchup or drowned in cheese sauce, take a second to remember what went into them. Farmers in fields, factory workers watching conveyor belts, machines slicing potatoes with water jets, freezing rooms colder than Antarctica, and fryers sizzling with perfect precision. It's an entire hidden world that makes something as simple as fries possible. And honestly, knowing all that, it doesn't make me want fries less. It makes me want them more. Because when you realize just how much science and effort goes into a food this comforting, every bite feels like a little miracle. A salty, crispy, golden miracle. If you loved this deep dive into the secret life of French fries, don't forget to hit that like button. Drop a comment about your favorite way to eat them, straight up, loaded with toppings, or dipped in milkshakes. Yes, we see you milkshake dippers. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next behind-the-scenes look at the foods you thought you knew.